Hey, welcome everyone to what we're calling our entrepreneurial series. And what I wanted to do was to speak to different people who are entrepreneurs, whether that be those who are working with startups, those who have been in business like David, who we're going to talk to in a minute, who've been doing it for like 7 years, and even the likes of like Alex Gadsby, who's a millionaire and a serial entrepreneur. And the reason I wanted to do this is that becoming an entrepreneur now is incredibly sexy. It's like being a footballer or an actor. You know, people now walk around going, yeah, I'm an entrepreneur. Okay, before it wasn't like that 10 years ago. But if you're going to be an entrepreneur, there are skill sets, methodologies and mindsets that you need to be successful. And the only reason I say that, everyone knows the stats. Okay, 9 out of 10 businesses failed in the first year. 9 out of 10 businesses failed in the first year. And those that go past the year, the percentage of failure is still in a high proportion of those companies who in the next 3 years go on to fail. So we understand there has to be traits that we can learn from those who are in business to be successful. And David used a term I've heard him use before, where success leaves clues. So what we're trying to do is find out what are those clues for you to be successful. So we're going to get into this. We're going to ask, obviously, a series of questions that we ask for all our entrepreneurs who come on onto the program to find out what it is that's allowed them to be successful. So, David, this is where it's over to you. So, why don't you tell the viewers a little bit about yourself, what you were doing before you became an entrepreneur, and the reason why you decided to become an entrepreneur, and then before we then start talking about what you actually do in your day-to-day business.
Yeah, sure. So before I started having my own business, I actually got a degree in chemistry.
Oh, okay.
I've got a passion around science. I love sciences.
Yeah.
I find it really interesting. And so with that passion, I thought it'd be nice to teach children sciences through practicals, engaging lessons, etc. And so I really do enjoy teaching. But it was around February 2011. I thought it would be nice to sort of do something under my own banner where I can be more hands-on with getting the best out of children.
Okay.
So that's when I decided to go the self-employed route.
Yeah.
Mentally prepared myself, but I didn't make the transition until November of 2011.
Excellent. Now, you had this vision. Could you have not achieved that in a job? You know what I mean? So because it's a risky thing that you've done, and we just talked about only 1 out of every 10 businesses succeed. So you're taking a big gamble, walking away from what people would say is probably one of the most secure careers. You're working for the public sector, got a pension. Why on earth would you leave that? Could you not fulfill the visions that you had for the business in the school system?
Answer is yes.
Yeah.
But I still felt I wanted to give more to the children.
Oh, okay.
And that can't be achieved if I was working for myself, as it were.
Okay, so you took that risk. Okay. The question I really want to ask is, was there an element of fear?
Oh yeah, there was. There was.
All right. Okay. Yeah.
There was.
And how did you manage that then? How did you manage that fear?
Well, the key thing is it's about realizing we got two forces always at work. We've got faith and fear.
Yeah.
And so I wanted to focus more on the faith. Now, at the point where I wanted to go into business, fear felt really overwhelming.
Yeah.
What if all the what ifs was come to mind? Suppose this happens, that happens. Suppose it fails. Suppose the customers walk away. Suppose I go bankrupt. Suppose I can't pay my bills. All the what ifs.
Yeah.
But then it's about reining it all in and thinking, well, actually, what if I don't try? I will never know.
Fantastic.
So why not give it a go?
100%. And I suppose the worst that can happen, and we say this for any entrepreneur, is that you can always go back to the safe, secure job and things like that. But actually, there's a point I just want to make on that. Even jobs now that we think are secure, are secure. So having a career can be just as risky now.
It's true.
As running a business.
I mean, commonly people say, well, a business, David, it's a bit risky. This could go wrong, that could go wrong.
Yeah.
But then I say to myself, well, actually, risk can be managed because when you do work for yourself, you may have, say, 100 customers. Yeah. If one walks away, you got over 99 customers.
Brilliant. I love that. But if you have one career and that career's gone, it's all over. Oh, okay. So tell us a little bit about your business then. So so you made that transition, and we'll ask you what you believe it takes to be a great entrepreneur in today's era. But tell us about the business first. What do you actually do? What does your business do?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
So in a nutshell, we work with children aged 5 to 16.
Yeah.
We unlock their potential in an environment which is very stimulating, so the kids are engaged through learning through the flow, so they can achieve great things, and learning is fun, by the way. An environment which is very supportive, so we work with the child to support them, so they are able to really unlock their potential, support them through methodology, etc.
Yeah.
And also in the same environment, we will also nurture them. So we're a firm believer in nurturing children to get the best out of them.
Wow, okay.
So they feel that the self-esteem can grow, etc.
Yeah.
And within that environment, we will unlock our children's potential to achieve freaky results.
I love that. So just give me one of your highs then. Tell me, some of the successes that you've had.
Well,
they're freaky. Someone who's had probably freaky results.
Well, they've been exceptional.
Okay.
The first one that springs to mind is one of our kids came to us for tuition 3 years ago, still with us right now, and she's now a published author.
At how old?
At 10.
10 years old.
10 years old.
Published author.
Author.
That doesn't make sense. How you've done that is pretty.
It makes perfect sense. She's come with us for 3 years now, and in that time she's really excelled.
Yeah.
At first she was just below average slightly, and now she's above average and doing quite well at school.
Brilliant. So you're having great successes. You've been around for 7 years now in business?
7 years.
Okay, so you're not one of those who've fallen by the wayside in the first year, fallen by the wayside in the first 3 years. You've sustained growth, okay, which is fantastic. So that leads me then to the question, what do you believe? Actually, no, I'm going to ask that one in a minute. The question I ask is, what's the best thing about being an entrepreneur?
The best thing about being an entrepreneur is serving your customers, serving my parents and their children.
Yeah.
Seeing a child who comes to us who was once underachieving, for whatever reason it might be, lack of confidence, etc., and then seeing them just skyrocket, seeing them excelling. Nothing beats when you go open a centre and seeing the kids coming there each week and having good reports at school, and grades are going up, get moved up sets, parents telling us, thank you David and your team for doing a good job.
Amazing.
Nothing beats seeing the children excelling.
Excellent. So it's having your organisation doing good, best feeling in the world.
Beautiful feeling.
I love that.
Nothing beats making a difference.
Yeah. So it's funny because a lot of people think about becoming an entrepreneur, it's all about the money. But actually, the more entrepreneurs I speak to, it's the vision of how taking a product that makes a difference to the community, to the wider world, whatever it may be. That's the thing that drives, and that's the thing that gives them the buzz. So that's similar for you. So what's the worst thing then? Okay, so the best thing is seeing your product go live, you help that individual. What's the worst thing, would you say, to anyone who's looking at being an entrepreneur, about being a business owner?
I wouldn't say worse than what I would say more, it's more of a challenge.
Yeah.
In the early days, you got to put the work in.
Yeah.
In the early days, it's long hours. Lots of challenges initially. It's about learning and refining your techniques, get to know who you are as an entrepreneur, building a strong team, building credibility, a track record. But it's more around working long hours initially. But I'm a firm believer in hard work, always lays the foundation for greatness.
Excellent. So one of the key things that you would say then for anyone who's looking to become an entrepreneur, understand that in the first couple of years, that may be 12 months, 24 months, more likely 2 to 3 years, is that you're going to have to put the hours in.
Absolutely.
And what kind of hours were you doing?
I'm probably doing 50 to 60 hours a week.
Wow. Oh, okay. So yes, this is not for the easy life. Sometimes,
not for the faint-hearted.
You look at an entrepreneur, think, hey man, I'm my own boss. I'll put my own hours. Actually, you work more hours.
You do. I mean, common misconception, as you rightfully said, you can work probably 10 hours a week and get, well paid. No, misconception. No, you got to put the hours in. You got to perfect your craft.
Yeah, excellent. So, what would you say then makes a great entrepreneur? I'm not even going to say great. What does it take to be an entrepreneur and be successful is probably the way I'd phrase that, actually.
I think one of the key attributes is integrity. Do things the right way. Also, it's about knowing your field really well. Knowing your field inside out. Knowing the latest theories around your field. Knowing new legislation. Being abreast of changes as well in the field. Also, I think it's about having a firm handle on financial statements.
Yeah.
Knowing how to read a balance sheet.
Yeah.
Profit and loss.
Yeah. Are we making money? Are we not making money? We've got cash flow issues.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So one of the key things you're saying is actually you're going to have to be adept in terms of understanding finances.
Absolutely.
You can't run away from that, especially at the beginning, where you can't outsource it to an accountant and things like that. You've got to work hard. The other one you just said, sorry. So you said finances. You talked about working hard, but also being competent.
Absolutely.
Okay, in your market. So I hear people and they'll say to me, I want to open this business. I'm like, well, what's your experience in that arena? I don't. Well, you're not competent in it. So your probability of failure is incredibly high.
Yeah.
So try and pick something that you're competent in or confident in, and that will be able to be demonstrated in the sales that you make.
Absolutely. And I think the key thing as well is about having passion.
Yeah.
Because too many times people are trying to make a sale.
Yeah.
And the person on the receiver end can discern or realise the person doesn't really care about them.
Yeah.
So what I said, the key thing is it's about being credible. It's about having a passion for what you're doing.
Yeah.
It's about really seeking to serve that person the best that you can, at all costs. Even being prepared to walk away and not make a sale because you put them first.
Wow. Oh, okay. I love that. One of the books that we both said that we love, Stephen Covey's 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, is look for a win-win.
Absolutely.
Always look for a win-win. So in business, if you're going to be successful in business, look for win-win situations where your client wins and you win. And if it doesn't feel that's going to happen, walk away from the deal.
It's
for
true.
the good of the client and for the good of your business.
Absolutely. And another thing I'll say as well, another attribute I'll say, it's about understanding the baseline of operations. So the baseline of how to do things in your industry.
Yeah.
And then do above that.
Oh, okay, so offer even more value.
Or more value.
Excellent.
Because, for example, some entrepreneurs will spend a lot of money in marketing, get new people coming in, and people start leaving.
Yeah.
But my philosophy is by providing a great service to customers, they will stay. Not only will they stay, they'll tell their friends.
Yeah, referrals.
So I think the key thing is providing an exceptional service.
I know one of the things Richard Branson says, and you're sounding like Richard Branson here now, he says, whenever I go into a new market, I always ask the question, how can I add more value?
Absolutely.
So if I can add more value, then I'll go into the market. If I can't add more value without increasing the price, I actually don't go into that. So one of the key things you're saying for any entrepreneur, if you want to be successful, have a value proposition that makes the market say, love what these guys are doing, but also that they will then refer you.
Absolutely.
It's the easiest sale.
Yeah.
Is a referral.
Because when it comes to an inquiry coming through, if that's been referred to yourself through a friend, the most likely to join and tell their friends that's somebody who don't know anything about what you do.
That makes sense. Okay, so the power of referrals. Okay, so the last question. Someone's looking to start up their own business, they're watching this video and like, yeah, I can be an entrepreneur, I've got this burning craving, desire to run my own business. What advice would you give to anyone who's starting out in business or looking to start out in business?
That's a great question. What I would say, be crystal clear on your why.
Yeah.
That's a very important question to answer. So by that I mean, do almost like an audit check.
Oh, okay.
What passion do I have?
Yeah.
What spurs me on? What gifts do I have? What am I good at? What talents do I have? And that's indicated then what industry to go into.
Oh, okay, I like that. So instead of picking, so what you're saying is don't just follow the trends and go, hey, that's hot, so I'm going to do this or I'm going to do that. Pick something that you're passionate about.
Absolutely.
Because if you're passionate, you're going to...
It will shine.
It will shine. But also the likelihood as well, because there is tough times in business, that you'll go through those tough times because you're passionate about it. But if you're not passionate about it, I suppose that's where you can start to wane and want to quit and things like that. Would you suggest that?
Very true, because the key thing is money follows passion.
Money follows passion.
Chase the passion, not the money.
Will come.
Because it's about realizing that we're there to serve customers, and by knowing what problem we are solving, how can we solve that problem, will mean customers will keep coming back to us.
Excellent. Well, look, I think, I'm really impressed. I didn't realise it was 7 years since you made the decision to, start being a teacher, and I think it's remarkable, especially when you look at the stats of how many people have failed. So, do you want to just quickly, before we close off, for anyone watching this, how can they get in contact with obviously your organisation? So if they're interested about obviously helping young people to transform their lives between 4 and 16.
That's right.
Did you say how can they find your details? Is it social media, or is it an email, website? How can they?
Yeah, sure. We're based on the website www.potentialunlocktuition.com, or give us a call on 0121 405 0853. We'll be happy to help.
Awesome. So guys, obviously, please make sure you subscribe to Gen TV, where we've got these videos, fitness videos, motivational videos. There's so much content to take your life to the next level. So make sure you'll also leave your comments. What do you believe it takes to be an entrepreneur? Or if you think there's someone we should be interviewing, why not let us know, and we can hit them up and see what it takes to be an entrepreneur. But we're wishing you all the best, and we're waiting to see you on the other side. That maybe you're starting your business, and in a couple of years you're sitting here teaching everybody what it takes to be an entrepreneur too. So God bless you, and we'll see you soon.